What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl Monique Nicole, and I am back with another video. Before we get started, honey, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down there. And while you are at it, go ahead and click the thumbs up button to like this video. It is an easy and free way to help support my channel because, honey, I'm trying to grow this year. Say it with me. Growth. Now, y'all please forgive me, child. I'm definitely giving Pirates of the Caribbean right now. That was not my intention. What had happened was I'm trying to lay this wig down, child. I'm trying to put the hot comb on it, and it's doing some type of weird thing where it's sticking up in the back. So to avoid all that, I'm just gonna tie this bad boy down and give it to y'all like this. So I am giving pirate realness, but y'all please excuse it. It's okay because I'm still pretty and my makeup is pretty. Now, y'all, eyes is late, baby. Eyes is late. I actually took detailed notes on this last week. However, I have been very sick. Had a real medical emergency that took place this week. I'm still recovering from said medical emergency. Very scary. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about Paradise, honey. One of my favorite new shows, okay, that premiered this year. Just when did it premiere? Let me not get to lie. In January, February, something like that, child. Y'all know I was late to the party, honey. So I had seen the advertisements for Paradise, and I was like, okay, it's got my boo, Sterling K. Brown, who I always love and support. And it has my OG boo, James Marsden. Now, James Marsden, that's one of the first white men I ever fell in love with. It was James Marsden and it was Justin Timberlake circa 1998. Okay. Those were the first white men I ever fell in love with, honey. So I've been following James Marsden for a long time. Not only is he handsome, he is a very good actor. So when I saw the commercials, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get into this. But you know, it was just one of those things where I'll watch it when I watch it. I wasn't like doing a countdown and like waiting for the debut. It was just like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. So what had happened was, honey, y'all was on the internet streets and the social media streets, and y'all was just paradise, paradise, paradise. Every week, paradise, paradise. Oh my God, oh my God. So I was like, hold up. Let me find out. Paradise is actually given something. Let me just find out. And it was like a universal positive response from viewers. So whenever that happens, it really does intrigue me. So I said, hold up. Once I found out the finale was coming on in like a week, I was like, okay, bet. I got a few days to catch up. I caught up in 3 days on that mug. I watched Paradise in 3 days and I caught up and I watched the finale along with everybody. And baby, I am so happy that I caught up with y'all. So let's just give a little I guess back history, right? So Paradise, according to Wikipedia, Paradise is an American political thriller television series created by Dan Fogelman. Pause. If I am not mistaken, I do believe Dan Fogelman also created, co-created, directed, or produced This Is Us, which is one of my favorite shows that ever has existed in the universe. And if so, which I think he did, I can see the parallels. I can definitely see the parallels in the storytelling, in the pacing of the show. So he did, y'all. He did an excellent job. And I just love that he casted his This Is Us family, Sterling K. Brown. So I thought that was amazing. It just, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was definitely giving This Is Us. Okay. This is giving Scandal. This is giving End of the World. This is giving Doomsday. This is giving corruption. It's giving all the things, honey. So let's go ahead and get to it, boo, because I do have a lot of detailed notes and I am on a time crunch. So I'm going to try to get through this now. Y'all, please, like I said, I wrote these notes a week ago. So, and I wrote detailed notes, honey. So I'm going to be reading off my notes. Y'all don't judge me. Y'all know I be reading off the notes and then I also go off the dome. So let's get into it, honey, because Paradise was that girl. So like I said, Paradise definitely gave me the This Is Us vibe as far as like the flashbacks and like the pacing and then like telling the story, but not telling the story, giving us little breadcrumbs, but not giving us too much. It was definitely giving This Is Us. Also doing flashbacks and giving situations from different people's perspectives that had This Is Us written all over it. And I actually do like that type of storytelling. So I really, really, really did enjoy it. This was definitely every episode had you on the edge of your seat. It definitely gave, again, the who did it, who's done it type of vibe. A lot of thriller, it was just a really, really, really good show. So the episode starts out where the series starts out. We meet Xavier Collins, played by Sterling K. Brown. So Xavier Collins, he's basically like a Secret Service agent, top security bodyguard, what have you, for President Cal Bradford. Where is Cal, honey? Where is sexy Cal? Ooh, Cal, baby. James Marsden. Okay, so James Marsden plays President Cal Bradford. So Xavier Collins is the president's first like Black like Secret Service agent or whatever. Xavier, aka Sterling K. Brown, Xavier is a very no nonsense, very stoic type of personality, very, nice, but doesn't let his guard down, rarely cracks a smile. He's about his work. You can barely get a little smirk out of him. He might smirk a little bit at the president's jokes, but he's very serious about his job, which is good. Now, President Cal, on the other hand, honey, is very charismatic, very laid back, very just go with the flow, always cracking jokes, always, the glass is half full, not half empty, just very like homie next door, like just they're polar opposites, right? When it comes to their personalities, which actually makes it just it makes their characters even more likable. And we do see that they develop a bond and a trust for each other, which was beautiful to see. Okay. So episode 1, baby, I'm talking about 15 minutes in this mother truck. I think the timer was like 17 minutes in the damn show. Shit was already popping off, y'all. Okay. Let's get into this mother trucker. So Xavier, he's on duty, okay? It's the morning shift. He's on duty. He goes to the president's home. Usually the president is prompt, and usually, he would have been downstairs. He's very prompt. So it was kind of like, what's going on? Like the other agents are waiting for Cal. So, Xavier comes. Again, he's the head ninja in charge as far as like the security. So he's like, all right, well, let me go see what's up with the president. Is he drunk? Did he oversleep? Is he hungover? So knock on the door. Don't hear nothing from Cal. Knock again. Don't hear nothing from Cal. And he's like, okay, Mr. President, I'm going to have to come in now. Da, da, da. Baby. Xavier walks in that mother trucker and sees President Cal face down on the ground in a pool of blood. And the audience and Xavier, we had our jaw dropped, okay? Because we're not really expecting all that to come in 15, 16 minutes into the episode. It was kind of very jarring, obviously, for Xavier to see his boss, essentially, and someone who he formed a connection and a relationship with is dead on the ground. So, hold on. Where are my notes? Okay, so he checks on the president, no pulse, baby. He is dead to the ground. It's a violent scene. It wasn't just no natural causes. There was violence that took place. So with this discovery, Xavier he breaks protocol. Okay, he calls Agent Billy, who was like his bestie, and tells him it is like code red emergency. Xavier canvasses the president's room, realizes that some important information, aka a tablet, is stolen from his safe box. Okay, so there's a lot of funny business that's going on. He also goes to check the security footage and realizes that he was the last person on camera to see President Cal alive. Very shocking, right? Now, earlier that night, Special Agent Robinson, who was having an affair with Cal, came to pay him a little visit. Okay. And earlier that afternoon, he had another visitor, his coworker, friend slash boss, Samantha, aka Sinatra, which we'll get into her, honey. And they actually had a very heated argument, which Xavier partially witnessed. So we got some off the gate, y'all. We already got some suspects going into this mother trucker. Okay. All right. So we also discover that the night that the president was murdered, Billy was on call. He was on not on call. He was on his shift. He was working that night. Billy, old dumbass, gonna fall asleep on the couch for an hour and a half, 2 hours, what have you. And not only did he fall asleep, the security cameras were frozen for 2 hours while Billy was sleeping. So we have no evidence, no visual of what took place, who came in, what had happened. And when that happened, I was like, why wasn't Billy fired immediately? Like, immediately. Very crazy. Okay, hold on. How do I get to this? Okay. So we get more flashbacks. Okay, more flashbacks. They show us a time previously where there was an assassination attempt on the president. Okay, Xavier literally took a bullet for the president. After his recovery, the president and Samantha authorized for Xavier to be privy to some very top classified information that the world was going to face catastrophic extinction in the near future, approximately 8 to 10 years. Okay. So y'all, so like I said, this is like the end of the world. This is government. This is corruption. This is like all of that kind of like all in one, y'all. Okay. Now I have to get on Xavier a little bit because he definitely pissed me off a little bit during the series, especially episode 7, which was probably the best one of the best episodes in television history. It was obviously to me the best episode of the series, but I do think episode 7 of Paradise is one of the best episodes of scripted television that a lot of us have witnessed. Let me see. Okay, so at episode 7, us, the audience, we finally get to see what happened, right? The day that the world came to an end. To back up until episode 7, we know the world ended. We know Paradise, you guys, and I'm sorry that I kind of am going all over the place. Please forgive me. Paradise is basically a little hidden underground underworld that was created, right, by Sinatra. Okay. And I'm going to get into her in a little bit. I have detailed notes on that heifer too. Okay. So throughout the series, before episode 7, we clearly know the world came to an end. Something catastrophic happened. We know that Xavier is now a single parent with 2 kids. He had a wife. His wife presumably dead and died during the catastrophic event when the world came to an end. So we can tell Paradise is not a real place. It's definitely manufactured. It's definitely manipulated. They have fake sun. They don't even have pets. They have this. Everything is just like a big old system in a dome shaped system, alternate fake world that they have created. Okay. So episode 7, we finally, as the audience, get to see what took place on Doomsday. Like, what did Doomsday look like? How did Xavier and his wife not, how they got split up, and she wasn't able to seek refuge with her family. Okay. So I had to give that little backstory because, again, I'm a little bit all over the place and I do apologize. So, like I said, we see what happens Doomsday. Episode 7 just was anxiety filled. It was chaotic. It was just edge of your seat, thriller. You're just nervous. It's just like, oh, I had such bad anxiety watching that episode, you guys. I'm sorry, y'all. Xavier, I gotta get on you. Xavier, let's back up. President Cal, okay, they show us a flashback. President Cal, before the world came to an end. Now, we don't know if this was a month, 2 months, 6 months, or a year. We don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, I do not remember if they put a time on when he had Xavier show him the emergency protocol again. Like it was like some random day, and he was like, "Hey, can you show me again what the protocol is? If something catastrophic happened, like what's the game plan again? What's the game plan again?" And Xavier, as smart as Xavier is, this ninja just, oh, okay, I'm gonna show you. Oh. Like, he just ignored all logic, all context clues. I mean, Cal basically, spelled it out for you, and you still didn't catch the hint. So Cal says to Xavier, is your wife still, going on those work trips and research trips, whatever, to Atlanta? Da, da, da. He was like, yeah. Cal was like, okay, I think you should probably kind of have her stop and like scale back and like not do that anymore. Maybe stay at home with the family. Here go Xavier. Here go Xavier ass talking about some, sir, I've been married to her for 20 years. She hasn't listened to anything I've said in 20 years. Ninja. I don't know how many different ways Cal had to say it to you, Xavier, but he was giving you a warning. And it went over his head. Over his head. I think he pissed all of us off with that bullshit. So Xavier did not warn his wife about the information that he was privy to, okay? And in return, wanted to blame President Cal for what happened in episode 7. And I thought that was asinine. Okay, I think that was completely asinine. Let's talk about this. First of all, y'all, and I like to put myself in people's shoes, because I'm a firm believer in, you never know how you're really going to handle something until it happens to you. And I do have that logic about a lot of things, but I also know there are certain things that I would be handling in a certain way. And I think something like this, I would have handled differently. Now, I understand Xavier was in a sticky position, right? He is top security, like the president's right-hand man, security agent, and you're getting privy to some top secret information. But my love, you are a husband and you are a father. And you're telling me that you got top secret information that the world is going to end in approximately the next decade. And nowhere in that decade did you think that maybe you should tell your wife? Now, I understand the risk because naturally, listen, the wife is a civilian. She has family of her own. She may have wanted to warn her mother, her father, her siblings, her cousin, she may have wanted to, and I get that. But at least somewhere in between that time frame, you should have told her. And if you didn't do that, when the president asked you to go over the emergency protocol with him, and he said, I think your wife should stop going to Atlanta, sir. That should have been a ding, 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 ding. Hello, a light bulb should have went off. Okay, so I think all of us were looking at the TV and looking at Xavier like, sir, hell no, you're not about to put this shit on Cal, my love. You got to take some accountability for what the fuck you did. And you dropped the ball. You failed your wife. You failed your goddamn wife. Because had that been me, nigga, I will hope you would do more than a don't go and give me a kiss on the forehead, nigga. What? You better be like, baby, you can't go. You're gonna die. Like, you better do. Oh, don't go. Love you. Nigga, what? You must not have wanted me as your wife. Shit. Okay, that was asinine to me, y'all. That was asinine. All right, so doomsday, y'all. When I tell you guys, my heart broke. My heart broke for the White House staff members, okay? Including, especially the president's assistant. The president's assistant. I felt like, dude, it would have cost you nothing to have protected her. And just have her and her son come on board with you. Like, there was a moment when she was like, I've been with you since the beginning. I've been with you since the beginning. Nigga, to me, besides Xavier, that assistant was also his right-hand person. Like, your assistant and your top security agent, those are your right-hand people. You couldn't protect her. You couldn't do some manipulation and get her. Nigga, you was going to get Xavier's wife on, so why couldn't you get your assistant? Cal, that was fucked up. That was fucked up. To me, that was fucked up. That was very fucked up. I just felt I felt bad for everybody in the White House because they were obviously, like the rest of the world, were blindsided, at least America. They were blindsided and gut punched. I mean, you served at the pleasure of the president, and to still be left out the loop and left to die, it just shows you how exclusive this underworld and this information was. And it's just, I wrote in my notes something very, very poignant. Morals and ethics of human survival were completely violated throughout the series. For me, it was scary because I felt like it was an example of art imitating real life. And this type of corruption and selfishness happens in real life. It happens in politics, and it's happening right now in US government. So I'm going to say that again. Morals and ethics of human survival and human life were completely violated throughout this series. It was very, very eye-opening. Only 25,000 people in America were selected to be a part of Paradise. I also wrote, it is always the powerful dictating the fate of those less fortunate than them. It is always the powerful dictating the fate of those less fortunate than them. The secret city of Paradise, you guys, was really implemented for the top 1% of the economic hierarchy of the country. 1%, the top 1%. And some of those people, most of the people actually funded the secret city of Paradise. So it's just like, you know, Sinatra spearheaded it. She created it. It was an underground world under the mountains of Colorado, but she's not the only devil. She's not the only devil. She's not the only person who was at fault. So a little bit about Samantha, aka Sinatra. Sinatra became the richest woman in the world after she sold her cloud storage startup business. She met her future husband one night at a local bar. They fell in love and started a little cute little family. However, this broke my heart too. One day out of nowhere, and we saw this earlier in the series. One day out of nowhere, honey, they go grocery shopping like every other family in America, and their son fell extremely sick, and it became a terminal illness. Now, I don't remember if they ever said the diagnosis or what he was diagnosed with or what happened. I don't recall. You guys let me know in the comment section, but I do not remember if they actually said his actual diagnosis. Now, of course, with Sinatra, she has all the money, all the resources, the top doctors all over the world. She could not get a cure for him. And he sadly died he was like, oh my God, if I had to guess 7 years old, he's a baby. So a year after her son's death, Sinatra attended some sort of like conference in which she saw her colleague and acquaintance, Cal. This is before Cal was in government, or at least this is before he was at least a president. I think he was in government, some type of government official, but he was not the president just yet. It's a weekend-long conference, but there's one particular seminar that was seemingly about climate change and, it having a catastrophic effect on the world. And the professor shared that in the new future, the world would come to an end. And considering that Sinatra had already, lost a child, I guess this really sparked her interest and really kind of worried her and scared her. So after the class, she and Cal were really like, it was like 4 or 5 people in the class, which was crazy. Kind of reminds me of today and how Orange Face has talked negatively about science and climate change. But anyway, long story short, Sinatra was like, Professor, what do I do, child, to make sure this don't happen? He was like, it's inevitable, but I mean, you can dig a hole and go crawl in it. And I guess that sparked her mind to create an alternate universe, underground world. Child, Sinatra was crazy. Okay, so throughout the series, Sinatra was a prime suspect, okay? Mainly because she was one of the last people to see Kyle. They had an argument. Throughout this series, we see that Sinatra is not the nicest, not even about being nice. She's just a fucking evil-ass bitch. We see that Sinatra is not really a good person. She's willing to do whatever to kind of have her way, be commander-in-chief. Everyone bows down to her. She is definitely the HBIC of paradise. There is nobody above her. She is the top dog. Everyone answers to her. Everybody, including the president, everyone answers to her. Okay, so she is no one to be played with. Okay, where am I at? Where am I at? My notes. So yeah, they had a heated conversation. Okay. So they had a very heated, so Cal and Sinatra had a very heated conversation because Cal was confronting her because he found out the truth about her devious ways. She murdered the scientists who were in paradise, who decided to go to Earth. They wanted to see if there were any survivors, anybody that they could rescue and bring back to paradise. So she didn't want paradise to be compromised by any people from the outside world, if you will. So she had Billy, who we fell in love with, but Billy was a psychopath too, low key, high key, living a double life himself, unbeknownst to Xavier, his bestie. Sinatra sent Billy to kill those innocently kill them. Y'all, that was just disturbing AF, y'all. That was so disturbing. I feel like, why even send them? Like, she should have stopped Xavier, or not Xavier. She should have stopped Cal from having them go. Why have them go just to kill him? It was just terrible. Anyway, so we get to Billy. We got to talk about my boy Billy. We all fell in love with Billy, child, his old psycho self. Love Billy, but he was messed up now. So Billy, another Secret Service agent for the president, very close to Xavier. And by episode 1 or 2, They had us looking at Billy sideways, like, baby, are you a suspect? Because something in the milk ain't clean. Uh-oh. Something in the milk ain't clean, Billy boy. So we thought he was a suspect for majority of the first half of the series. What about, wait, I'm all over the place. However, later on we realized that he was innocent. He did not kill the president. He was innocent of that crime. Now he committed other crimes while he's been in paradise, but he didn't commit that particular crime. Okay. So what had happened was, okay, so somehow Billy became a threat to Sinatra. It was kind of confusing to me because Sinatra was thinking that Xavier had something to do with it. And then it was like, I don't know if she was having Billy spy on Xavier. It was just something was going on. So I like Billy and Sinatra got into a little argument. And I guess he was flexing his muscles a little bit too much. So she was like, "Oh no, bitch, you ain't running stuff around here, partner. You ain't about to threaten me, boo boo. So I'ma eliminate you." Okay. So guess who eliminated Billy Boy? His psychotic ass girlfriend, who's also an agent named Jane. Jane. You raggedy bitch. So we got Jane. Jane is seemingly one of the newest members of the security detail. She's just very green, very, hi, I'm the newbie. I just want to fit in, whatever. That type of bitch. But she really is a psychotic bitch, okay? And she's psychotic and unhinged and is working for Sinatra and doing a lot of her dirty work, okay? So throughout the series, she was dating Billy at the beginning, and lo and behold, she took Billy out under the guise of Sinatra. Okay. Now, once Billy is murdered, Xavier is like, he was already on guard. He already did not trust Sinatra, but baby, once they took out Billy, Xavier was like, "Oh, no more Mr. Nice Guy in this mother trucker." Radar is up. Everybody's suspect. So no one, wait. Yeah, so he don't trust Sinatra. He's out to get her. He suspects her. He already suspected her, but with Billy gone, it's F that B. Now, after playing a little cat and mouse game, Sinatra and Xavier finally come face to face. Sinatra, as clever as she is, had one more trick up her sleeve. Okay. She had an audio footage of Xavier's wife. And apparently, allegedly, Xavier's wife survived the catastrophic whatever explosion that was supposed to have happened. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my gosh, his wife is alive. He gotta go get her. So, flashback again to Doomsday when President Cal had the access to the blue codes, which could have blew up everything. He actually prevented Atlanta from being wiped out. So with the codes with those codes, the decision he made, he allowed there to be a possibility of survivors, which was very nice of him. Cal, I have to get you together too because you pretty much failed. Cal, I gotta get you together too, boo. Like that's what I'm saying. Everyone's hands is dirty. Everyone who knew about Paradise, hands are dirty. Cal, you knew about this and you waited to the 11th fucking hour. Now, I know on Doomsday, there was a moment in the White House where he was talking to whoever, scientist or whatever, and he was like, "I thought you told me we were going to have more time. I thought you said we were going to have a better heads up. At least 2 weeks." And I said, "Cal, nigga, what? A 2-week heads up to tell everybody the world fucking come to an end, bitch?" That is so insane and diabolical. That when he said it, I was like, 2 weeks is better than 2 hours, but Cal, you ain't shit either, Cal. You ain't shit. So again, y'all, the anxiety of just being in that room, looking at the White House staff, everyone's looking confused. People are perplexed. People are chaos. It's chaos. We don't know what's going on. Very, very, very just it was really bad. It was just really bad. It was just bad. It was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, y'all. Okay. So in the end, we find out who the president's killer was. He was actually hiding in plain sight. Okay? Plain sight. And he posed as the town's librarian. Rewind. Chicka, 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 chick. So we rewind back several years back, honey. And what's the nigga name? What is boy's name? The killer. Whatever. The killer's name. Whatever his the killer was actually the project manager for the construction behind Paradise. Is that not crazy? So through his time developing and being the project manager, he became very close to several of the workers, but one in particular, one, he was from Africa, something, I don't know, y'all. They became buddy, buddy, buddy. Now, some people think it was romantic. I didn't see it until the killer was on the phone, that jail phone call. That was giving romance. So I think Lamont and everybody, I think y'all might be right. The project manager was in love with that black man. Anyway. So he developed a close friendship with some of the workers. Okay. So throughout his time working on the project, he realized, wait a minute, this area site is producing a lot of poisonous chemicals, and this is causing the workers to actually get sick and like really could have long-term effects on their health. This is like mineral poison. This is like poisons and toxins that are really having an effect. Because of his concerns and constant badgering of the issue, he was kicked off and removed from the project. After all this happened, he was really dedicated. He just dedicated his life, you guys, to exposing the truth about Paradise, exposing that the world is coming to an end and they're building this secret society. You know, nobody believed him. Nobody, none of the conspiracy theorists believed his ass. Nobody believed him. So the nigga went crazy. Sorry, I gotta stop saying that word. He went crazy and tried to pow the president. There was an attempt on the president's life. And of course, he was arrested and everybody just kind of went on with their life and kind of forgot all about him, right? Well, of course, on Doomsday, he was able to escape the prison because it was crazy, you know. It's Doomsday now, so all the prisoners it was crazy, baby. The prisoners broke out, he broke out, ended up conveniently like posing as like what's the word? Not I mean, I guess like a police officer, you know, when they do the checks, you know, so he on the street or whatever. So baby, he posed as an officer and he conveniently came across the real librarian who had clearance to go to Paradise. So he killed him and the wife, which is really sad, and basically took their identity, honey. He randomly runs into this chick who's kind of giving up. She's like, I don't really have nothing to fight for. I mean, shit, I'm about to die, so whatever. She was depressed and crying. So I guess he felt bad for the girl. I was like, okay, well, you're lucky. You can come with me. You're one of the lucky ones. Come on, girl. So they go live in Paradise. They got a new life, new identity. Oh, Trent. That's his name, Trent, the killer, Trent. So after a while, you know, Trent was kind of getting adjusted to Paradise. Trent was like, okay, I can do this. This ain't bad. I can live like this. I'm a little librarian, you know. Life is peaceful down here. Okay. So he was living his best life, honey, until one day, sadly, Cal went to the library, honey, and that set everything back in motion. It's like Trent just had a, little flashback and remembered the original mission that he had to take out Cal because he blamed Cal for what happened. And I can understand that, but I just felt like, sir, Did he not know about Sinatra? Maybe he didn't know about. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. So unfortunately, that's how he. Now, how he was able to do the murder, I don't know. That just seemed really convenient. How he was able to get into the president's house, and it just seemed awfully convenient to me. But then again, people were sleeping on the job and weren't doing their job as security, so I guess it's not that far fetched. So thanks to Xavier and Agent Robinson, and I forgot to say that Agent Robinson and Xavier did team up and really became the only people that each other trusted. I'm sorry, y'all. I was rambling. This is Sinatra's old ugly, dusty, crusty ass. Okay. Now back to Robinson. I felt bad for Sister Girl because she really fell in love with the president, y'all. She really loved Cal. She really loved Cal. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad for the girl. Hold on, y'all. I gotta text somebody. I'll be there at 6:20 because I'm running late. Y'all know I'm always running late. Child, I felt bad for Agent Robinson because she, at first we were kind of like, bitch, we don't trust you. Who is you, ho? But she became like really cool or what have you. And so I felt bad for the girl. Like she really loved Cal. And I could tell Cal loved her. He just, he wasn't able to express it, but he was still legally married to his wife. Y'all know how it is. They got to put on a united front. But I felt bad because it's like, I can't imagine being with my lover, my partner, whatever, like hours before he's killed. And it's just like, it was just really traumatizing. Very, very traumatizing. But thankfully, the two Black people united, y'all. United to take out them. What's the girl named? Sinatra. Okay. So again, thanks to Xavier and Robinson, they discover Trent is the real killer. And however, before he could be arrested and pay for his crimes, baby, he offed himself. So bye-bye. I kind of feel bad. I kind of don't. So by the end of the series, Xavier confronts Sinatra and reveals the real killer of Cal. Now, Jane had led Sinatra to believe that she killed Xavier's daughter because in the whole back and forth, the whole cat and mouse game between Xavier and Sinatra had Jane, who Xavier trusts. Sinatra had Jane basically like kidnap the girl. She didn't really kidnap her. She made the daughter feel like she was just hanging out with her, but low key she was kidnapping her as like ransom, unbeknownst to them. When Xavier came back, Jane all Jane wanted Sinatra was the damn Wii game. Her unhinged, psychotic ass just wanted to play Wii. And bitch, you didn't let her play Wii. So she said, fuck you, bitch. I'm about to do my own thing, honey. I'm about to go rogue. Okay, you've been in power for too long. I'm about to knock all this shit over and take it over from you, bitch. And that's what Jane did. Now, Jane, I don't fuck with you, Jane. But that was a good play. I give credit where it's due. That was a good play, dog. That was a good play. Okay. So at this point, Xavier thinking that his daughter's dead. So he like, oh, bitch. So he pulled his pow and put it to Sinatra's head. He about to blow Sinatra's head off, baby. And then Jane came in, say today, Jane pow at Sinatra, like in the chest or something. Sinatra down for the count, but she ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? So Jane's like, oh, I have her. She's fine, Xavier. I have your daughter. She's fine. She put on her fucking performance or whatever. And then, what had happened was, so the daughter is safe. Xavier still has no idea that Jane is corrupt. There's a double agent. We see Sinatra ass recover. Let me see her crusty, the crypt keeper looking ass one more time. Sinatra still alive, unfortunately, but we see her ass recover in a hospital bed. She's definitely down for the count for a while. And then we got Xavier Xavier gonna hop on a fucking plane to go save his wife, child, because his wife is alive. So he gotta go see, baby. He got to go see. And that was it, y'all. That was 44 minutes of a very fast review recap of season 1. I hope I made y'all laugh. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, this was not going to be a play for play, detail by detail review because, you know, that'd be crazy. The season's over. So I just did like a quick recap, still 45 minutes long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to me, please make sure you subscribe. I can't tell you guys how much I enjoyed this show. Great acting, great character development, definitely a thriller, on the edge of your seat. Just, I mean, a who's done it. I just love these type of shows. And oh my gosh, one more time for James Marsden. You know, I know Sterling K. Brown was the breakout star, rightfully so, but we have to also give James Marsden his credit. His portrayal of Cal was excellent. I think he, again, showed the complexity of Cal's character, of course, being the happy-go-lucky, charismatic, go with the flow, privileged white guy. But Cal also lived a very sad life, you guys. He had no control of his life. His dad was a dictator over his life. He didn't even want to freaking go to politics. He wanted to fucking be an English professor, for crying out loud. And you know, he never got to live his life and really be happy. And that is something I wouldn't wish on anybody. And that is something that is truly sad and quite miserable. Billy, you know, Billy has done some horrendous things. Paradise was Billy's way of like redemption and just trying to start over new. Billy had a very rough life, and I do sympathize with what he's been through, but he also has caused pain too. Great character. I do think they did a disservice by getting rid of him so early in the series. But I get it. It played a pivotal moment, and I understand to an extent, but I did regret seeing that. And then again, this freaking scene where Xavier wanted to blame Cal. Boy, you are the reason why your wife didn't make it on that plane. Okay. All right, y'all. So again, my name is Monique Nicole. If you are new, please subscribe and hit that like button. Get me in the algorithm, y'all. I need new subs. I need new people. I need people to come up in here and support your girl. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, and then also drop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the show. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.